Hey, it's Lauren. Welcome back to this series I'm calling ABC 1, 2, 3 because it's easy as ABC 1, 2, 3. So I did A1, A2, A3. They were slightly easier. I want you to cycle through those a few times. Maybe get to 3 times. Now I'm going to do B1, B2, B3, a seated version, a standing version, and an on your back or supine version. So super, super quick. These take about 10 minutes. And if you keep on cycling through them, you have the time and you will get better doing that, and you will feel better. So let's feel better together. Okay, hi, B1 today. Look, I'm sitting on 2 pillows. You could do 1 big pillow. I want you to raise your hips up. It makes everything a whole lot better, and it just helps with your range of motion, which is something that we're trying to get into. I want you to put your pillow or your pillows and be seated at the back of your mat area. I'm just going to do it this way so that you can see what I'm doing a little bit better, and then I'll switch over to the back. So at the beginning, let's just find yourself in an easy pose, a cross-legged pose. You'll find how much easier it is when you're sitting on top of these pillows. Get yourself nice and relaxed. Just take 2 seconds to feel what's touching the ground, how it's feeling on your legs. Maybe you want to switch the legs to the opposite way. That feels a bit funny, but that's okay. Just to see how everything touches the ground. We're going to just slow everything down a little bit. We haven't much time today. Put your hands onto your knees. Just sort of focus in on what you're feeling. We'll do our regular breathe in through your nose, fill up all your cavities. I like to raise my hands because I feel it helps bring all that air in, and then you're going to breathe out through your mouth. So in through your nose, and then out through your mouth. And in through your nose, and out through your mouth. And in through your nose, and out through your mouth. I find that already centers me. It gives me a little oxygen boost, makes me feel better. Have your hands nice and relaxed here for the rest of this time. Let's just breathe in and out through your nose if you can. It's that restrained breathing called Ujjayi breathing. It's like fogging up a mirror, but with your mouth closed. You're just restraining the back of your throat. Just take a couple breaths here and see what your body's feeling today. Now, as I've said, yoga means unison and balance. And one of the ways that we can do this is by going into this prayer position. You don't have to pray in that prayer position, but it really helps you feeling balanced. So your thumbs about at your sternum, about the same height as your elbows, and it just sort of makes you, it almost makes you sit very equally and balanced. Now, interlace your hands, perhaps different than you normally would, but you're going to do this a few times. So let's interlace your hands. Big inhale in, and then exhale, push your hands away. And then inhale your hands above your head. And then exhale your left hand out straight, and your right ear touching your right shoulder. Stay nice and straight. And do a couple of circles with your left hand. And then in the other direction. Now left hand on your shoulder, and try to smell your right armpit. And just as you put your head down, put your shoulder, your elbow back. And 1 more breath in. And try to touch you can interlace your hands behind your head and touch your chin to your chest Keep your back nice and straight. And just breathe into the back of your neck. One last breath in. Now your right hand on your right shoulder, your elbow back, and try to sniff your left armpit. And each time you breathe in, you make a little space. And then when you exhale, you can fall into that space. So you get closer and closer to your armpit, and your elbow goes further and further back. One more breath in. And now your left ear to your left shoulder and your right hand out straight, nice and straight on your spine, and making little circles in one direction with your hand. And then the other direction. Now inhale, your hands above your head again. And then exhale, your hands behind your back interlaced, maybe the other way. Get some sun on your chest. Your shoulders can relax down from your ears. Little tilt up with your head. And then back to that prayer position. How does that feel? Now, because you're already sitting at the back of your mat, I'll just go there. And from this cross-legged position, I want you to do what's called a staff pose. It's actually a super easy pose, but it's in some ways harder than you think. A nice straight back, as straight as you can. Maybe you want to put your knees on your hands on your knees, and sit up nice and straight. And what I'm trying to do here is get a nice 90-degree angle on my hips. And just sit in that for a few moments. Now, I'm going to do a forward fold, but I first want to bend my knees a bit. I want to put my hands up to the sky, the big inhale, and then reach over and grab my feet. And then I'm going to just straighten my feet a little bit, hinging at my hips and then letting my body fall over. And when I find I've got a little space, I maybe inch my feet out a little bit more. And maybe get a little bit more. Doesn't matter where you end up. You want to have a nice sensation of stretch and relaxing into this. On your next inhale, just sit up nice and slow, and we'll move forward on our mat. You can leave those, you can leave your cushions behind, or you can just keep maybe one. I'm finding two is a bit too much now, but I will keep one. And I want to cross my right leg over my left, put my left arm behind, and I just want to keep a nice straight back and stretch into that. This is a seated twist. And you can see how far you can get into this twist. You can put your leg further out and see where it feels right. Keep your back nice and straight. You're not sort of falling forward or falling to the side. You're really rotating your torso. One more big breath in. Just keep this leg bent, and we're going to bend the other one here into what's called cow face. And this is an interesting one, and this is one that you'll really see progress on. The goal of this is to line up your knees as much as you can. You want to keep your feet flexed, and lining up your knees is going to really depend on where you're at, where your hips are at. I can't line up my knees. That's okay. Keep your back nice and straight. And then just gently fall forward. Now, you may not be able to fall forward much. Keep your ankle engaged. You can feel a nice, good stretch on the outside of your body, and just breathe into that. But I don't want you to just fall over. I want you to sit up. I'd rather you sit up straight, hinged at your hips, and just bend over at the top of your body if you want. And stay in that. And one more breath in. Keeping your left leg bent over. On that theme, we're going to straighten out your leg again, and we're just going to bend into this so it's a half cow face. And nice big inhale. Come out and put your right foot into your left knee and quad. Put your right hand behind, and we're actually going to push up to supported side plank. Really try to stretch and reach the other side. And try to get your hips pushed forward. And one last inhale. And back down. So here we are, seated again, and we'll just do the other side. Then we'll almost be done for our 10 minutes today. So this time, your left leg over your right. You're going to reach behind with your right hand and twist. Again, keeping yourself straight up. Just put some light pressure of your tricep against your knee. You can still move, you can still talk. And one last inhale in. And come back and bend your bottom leg this time and cow face on the other side. So again, we're trying to line up our knees. And you'll find, it's interesting because you can find one side does more, one side does the other. And but my knees are not lined up. So nice and straight though. Hinge at your hips again, and just once you've hinged as far as you can, then you can fall over. One more big inhale in. Straighten your bottom leg out again. Keep your top leg where it is. Now we're doing half cow face. Again, trying to line up our knees as much as you can and then falling over that. So again, straighten your back, then hinge at your hips and fall over after you've hinged. And all of this, we're trying to find our edge. I've talked about our edge before. You're coming right to the point where it starts to hurt almost, and then you just back off from that a little tiny bit. And that's sort of an edge where you need to be feeling the strain on this. It doesn't matter where you hit that strain, but you want to be right on the edge of it. So not necessarily the most comfortable, but not in no way pain. And as you inhale and exhale, you're making space on that again. So last inhale in. Put your left foot inside, easier to see from this side. Go onto the side of your foot. Your left arm goes behind. Push your hips up. One more inhale in, and back seated down. Again, back to that staff pose. Now here we'll do just 2 variations of this butterfly that we'll move into. So we're going to bend your feet and come to the point where your feet are quite a far away from you. Put your feet together like that, and we're just going to do, one last bend over here. So nice and straight up. And then hinge at our hips. If you want to, you could put some bricks underneath your sides here. So, but here, hinge forward and then let our body fall over top. So inhale, you might get some space. And exhale, maybe you fall a little bit more. One more inhale in. Slowly push yourself up. Now, our last thing here is to move our heels closer to our hips. Hold on to your feet if you can. Nice, as straight as back as you can. So there's no point bringing it in, you're all hunched over. So find that spot where you can still straighten your back. I'm still sitting on a cushion. And we're just gonna let the pages of our book, the wings of the butterfly, fall open. And inhale. And go back into cross-legged, perhaps the opposite way that you started. There you go, that was today. That's B1. Take a few moments here. Keep your eyes closed, your head, or at least half closed, your head down, just tilted a little bit, your back nice and straight. And take a few moments, minutes, hours, days, and sit in sort of meditation for a little bit. Thanks for joining me. We've got another one coming up tomorrow.
Standing.